Hey everyone, Craig Severinsen here, and today I am going to talk about a 3-step process to making money and landing clients very quickly. I'm calling it my blueprint, and I've got a challenge for you today. I want you to take time this week to make $10,000 more. How's that sound? Let's make $10,000 more. I'm going to show you how that's possible pretty easily without ads, without new fancy courses, just making some more clients, bringing them on board, and doing it in a really natural way. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So there's 3 things that I want to cover, but really before we do that, there's one principle that I really just need to drive home, and that is what I call extreme responsibility. You know, things happen in our lives, things happen to you, and not everything is your fault, right? There's a difference between something being your fault and something being your responsibility. And in business, what I have found is that you need to take responsibility for everything. You don't have enough clients, take responsibility for it. Things aren't going the way you want it to go. It doesn't matter whose fault that is. What matters is that you take responsibility and then go and implement, right? So, a phrase I use quite often is take fast, focused, imperfect action. And I really mean that because getting things done is a lot more important than learning to do it like 100% perfectly or getting it 100% right. And this is a lesson that I kind of learned the hard way. And let me explain to you what I mean. So when I switched over to, I started my business as just straight PR. I was pitching and getting people into the media. And along the way, I started, consulting with other marketers, other PR pros to help them grow their business. And I liked that so much that I shifted over to coaching. And I did what most coaches do in the industry, and that is I focused on teaching people how to accomplish something. And what I saw was my clients would get results right away, right when they started working with me, and then there'd be a big lull. So we were working together for about 6 months, and there'd be a big lull right in the middle of that program where maybe they got results, maybe they didn't, right? And then at the very end, suddenly results would start accelerating again. And so got really good results from the program, was really focused on teaching them how to do what they do. But then there's 2 things happening. One is when I tried to re-enroll them into my programs, right? Like, okay, let's keep working together. I got the same response from like 90% of the people. They said, hey, you know what, Craig? We love this. This was really good, but what I need to do is implement. I don't need to learn anymore. I need to implement. I was like, okay, great. That's really good. Like you got a lot of really good information. You know the tools that you need to use. Yeah, go implement. So I had a really hard time keeping people on board. And, so I tried a lot of fixes to that. How do you fix that? What do you do? And I thought to myself, well, I'll just create a course so that they get the information quicker. That was my thought, is they needed the information, they needed it quicker. And this kind of thinking went on for a while until I landed a client who was just a really high performer but had hit a couple barriers and was like, Craig, I actually just want to work with you for 3 months. I don't want your 6-month program. I don't want your course. I want to work with you for 3 months. And so I took her on and I gave her full access to my stuff and focused 100% not on teaching, but on the implementation. How do you get the success that you want? How do you make $10,000 quickly? How do you get, to that next level, add $100,000 to your business quickly? We focus 100% on implementation. And what was cool is that the results that they got were better than 90% of most of my clients. And when you asked her about how she got it, she understood better than most of my clients that we focus 100% on learning. And so what I realized in that moment was that my model was backwards, right? I was focusing on trying to teach people how to do something when what they needed to do was implement. Implementation is going to get you results faster, and it's going to teach you more than learning about it, right? So that's why I shifted my entire business to focus on, no, we're not going to do, all this learning, right? Learning is important. I've got all these resources for you, but the more important thing is that you take responsibility for your business, you set some really clear intentions, and then you implement, you put in the work, right? So that is the number one principle. Before we even dive into the three things that are going to help you make 10K, really quickly, extreme responsibility has got to be one of those things that you embrace. If you don't take responsibility for your business, like you don't want to do the work, you're sitting here going, Craig, I just want to hear what's the get rich quick scheme. Sorry to disappoint, but there is no get rich quick scheme, right? Get rich quick is empty, right? It's getting something for nothing. Making money fast, however, different thing, is where you put in the work and you've got substance to your business and you get results quickly. That's what we're talking about, is how do you make money quickly? How do you get results quickly? But you still need to put in the work and you still need substance to your business, right? So that's what I'm all about. So the three things we're going to talk about are the things that if you focus on them, they will accelerate your business, right? So the title of this is How Do You Make 10K This Week? And it's 100% possible that you do make 10K this week, but we could have put tons of numbers there, right? So wherever you're at in this, I want to make 3K this week. I want to make $1,000 this week. Or maybe you're like, hey, I want to make $50,000 this week. Well, your situation and the amount of work that you're willing to put in it, 100% possible. But these are the things that I see that help people start making, $25,000 to $30,000 per month is focusing on these things, okay? So I'm looking down at my notes. If you see me looking off screen, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so step number 1. What is the first thing we need to do if you want to make $10,000 this week? So the first thing you need to do is make sure you look at your services and have premium packages, right? So what do I mean by that? Step number 1, have premium packages. Well, so first off, you need to be charging a fair amount of money. And if you're still charging hourly, we need to move away from that. And I just did a whole video last week on creating packages. So that's something you're interested in, maybe leave me a comment and I can shoot you the link to that video. But the idea here is that hourly rates aren't going to get you where you want to go. So you need to start thinking, how do I package my services so that per client I'm making $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 per client. I'm increasing that value of the client, and you're also increasing the value of your package, because now we're not selling hours, we're not selling process, we're selling results, and people will pay a premium for results. So along with your package, we need to make your package irresistible to your client, right? And we do this by focusing exactly what we just talked about on results. Clients don't really care, right? When you're looking to land more clients, they don't really care about the process you use to get the result. As long as it's ethical and as long as they think that it's going to work, they kind of understand it, they just want to make sure that they get the result that they're paying you for. So when you focus your package on helping them get results, you're going to stand out from your competition because nobody's talking about results, right? They're all talking about process. And you're going to stand out, and it's going to make your package really, really compelling, right? So that's how you can raise your rate, by packaging it and then positioning yourself so that it's got a higher perceived value. And then you're also going to be able to retain your clients longer because it's all connected in their mind to the results, right? So if you do whatever you're doing, social media, PR, content, if you're just selling content or whatever it is that you do, when it's time to make cuts, they're like, okay, business isn't going well. What do we need to cut? They're saying, well, this person's just doing content for us, or they're just doing social media for us. They're out of here. But if instead you're like, well, they're doing social media, the social media that drives 20 leads per month, that gets us a client a month, if we cut them, our revenue is going to go even worse. Suddenly, because you've connected, nothing's changed about the service, right? But you've connected to what they want, you've connected to the result, so now you're much more valuable. So even though you're charging more, you'll land the clients more than your competition, and you'll retain them longer, right? And this one tweak, by the way, packaging and raising your price and focusing on results, this is the one thing I see gets results the fastest for all of my clients, right? We make these changes, and immediately that one change, you can start landing these clients. So imagine right now you're charging whatever it is you're charging. Imagine you made a package for $5,000, and then you just had to focus on selling 2 of those this week to make an extra $10,000. That's pretty easy. What if you built a package worth $10,000? What would that look like? Now you only have to sell 1. What would happen if you had a package worth like $20,000? What would that look like? What type of client would you have to go after to get that type of sale? See, these are the questions you start asking when you package your prices. And now suddenly, you make one sale every other week. You've got $40,000 worth of sales every single month, right? So like really increasing your ability to make money very quickly just by working on your packages and your pricing. Okay, so that's tip number 1, is have premium packages. Step number 2 is that we need to make sure we're consistently marketing. And remember, marketing is not about making a sale. Marketing is about creating an opportunity to make a sale, right? You're trying to build a relationship. You're trying to create opportunity. You're not trying to sell. If you come out the gate trying to sell, you're not going to land the client. You're going to scare them off, right? So you want to make sure that you're coming out and really with value-focused marketing, right? Teach people how to get the results that you're talking about. And by teaching them, you're going to attract them. If you market or try to sell, you're going to be chasing. So we want to attract, not chase. And with your marketing, I'm going to suggest that you do 2 things. One is start with low-hanging fruit. Where's your low-hanging fruit? Do you have previous clients? Do you have current clients? Do you have an email list? Like, where are places where people are already familiar with you, where you can take your newly crafted premium package and go and offer it to them and maybe make 1 or 2 sales, right? This is a really simple way to make that extra 10K this month very quickly, right? Now, once that low-hanging fruit is kind of taken up, right, like you can only offer to your current clients, how often can you do that? Or past clients, how often can you do that? Ongoing, I want you to use a process that I call SMEDO. And I love the name. And it's an acronym, Social Media Direct Outreach. So think social S, media M, little e, direct outreach, SMEDO, right? And really what this is exactly what it sounds like. You're using LinkedIn, you're using Facebook, and you're looking for your ideal clients and you're reaching out to engage them. And through that engagement, you're inviting them to learn more about your services and making sales, right? So that's an ongoing practice. No fancy tech, no fancy funnels, no ad spend at all. And doing that process, you can land 2 to 5 high-end clients, resulting in a $20,000 or $30,000 per month or more business, right? Like this is how you build a 6-figure and multi-6-figure business, right? First is the packages, then your marketing, and you've got to do both low-hanging fruit to start out with and the SMEDO tactic. And I have a client that did just this. So about 2.5 weeks ago, we started working together. She went after her low-hanging fruit, and she did the SMEDO technique. And you know what happened? She sold over $30,000 in less than 2 weeks, right? So she now has $30,000 more this year in less than 2 weeks because of these things that we're talking about. So again, take extreme responsibility. If this is something you want to create, you're going to have to step outside your comfort zone. You're going to have to put in the work. But if you do it, the results are going to come to you very, very quickly. Okay, and then finally, so we've got your package. You've got to do consistent marketing. Now you've got to have a very natural sales vehicle or technique. And typically what I suggest for people is have a consultation, right? So hold a consultation. And in this consultation, what you want to do is you don't want to sell to them. You want to empower them to make a decision. So it's very simple. We're helping them understand what they want and how it connects to our method of getting that, right? Your services help them get what they want. And notice I didn't say get what they need or anything like that, right? Like you don't want to sell them what they need. You want to sell them what they want. And instead of trying to push them or be adversarial, right? Where it's like, it's a fight to see who gets the better deal, right? No, like you want to simply present the pathway to getting what they want and then empower them as an adult, as a smart adult, to make the decision that's best for them. And when you do that, you stand up, imagine the negotiation table, you're on opposite sides. When you empower instead of sell, you stand up, you move to the other side of the table, and suddenly you're a friend, you're a confidant, you're an advisor. It feels so much better, and you land many more clients for much more money. And the relationship is built on a solid foundation. Like there's so many benefits to this. We could go on for, another hour talking just about sales. But the whole idea here is empower, don't sell. Empower them. Okay. Those are our 3 tips today, and I wanted to keep this really short because I want you to take this and I want you to go implement. Remember, we started talking about how training shouldn't be the focus. Learning shouldn't be the focus. I just gave you some direction, and I told you that if you do this, it's possible for you to make, $10,000 this week. Is that something you really want? Because if it is, now's the time to get off of this and go and get in action. Go implement. Create, it doesn't have to be perfect. Create a package. Start reaching out to people. Start having these sales conversations. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you want help with it, reach out to me. I'll help you, right? And this is what I do every day. I help people craft these messages, craft these packages, and make sales really quickly. So I know this works, and I know it'll work for you. So what are you going to do about it? Get busy, get in action, go make some sales, go make some more money, transform your business. It's really possible that this week is one of the best weeks you ever have. So go and do that. Okay, I want to hear what you think. Was I off base? Was I on base? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Did I miss anything? Do you want me to expound on anything? I'm asking a ton of questions. Maybe I should so leave me any comments that you have, but maybe I should boil this down to one thing. What is your number one takeaway from what we just talked about? What are you going to commit to doing this week? Leave it in the comments. I'd love to see it. Okay, guys, till next time, take some fast-focused, imperfect action. I believe in you. You got this. See ya.